Hey loves, it's Britt, and in this video I'm talking about Mercury conjunct to Venus in Synastry, this lovely aspect. Let's get right into it, you guys. So, this aspect can produce that feeling of the Venus person is in love with the Mercury person for their mind and mental qualities. So, this is the kind of aspect that would show up in a love relationship where you're mentally attracted to someone, as well as maybe physically shown by other aspects. But yeah, the Venus person in this case can really feel like the Mercury person is speaking their language, and they are very romantically attracted to the Mercury person. They're very attracted to their intelligence. They feel like, yeah, they have a high level of intelligence, or at least like they're very reasonable and rational, and they feel like the Mercury person can give them what it is that they want. And they feel a lot of pleasure in communication with the Mercury person. They feel all giddy and like they love talking to them. And then the reversal, the Mercury person feels like the Venus person is just lovely to talk to. They feel very open to the Venus person. They feel like they can share anything with them, and the Venus person responds with such a gooey warmth and appreciation that they just feel so understood, so heard, and they feel very respected for their mental qualities. And so it can be very attractive on both ends. It's a really good aspect to see. There's not anything negative. This is like the one conjunction I really feel like, unless it's afflicted by other harsh aspects, there is nothing negative about this conjunction at all. It is just lovely. And it's pretty common to see because it does have a way of harmonizing other harsh contacts that you might have going on, and just really a lot of pleasure and enjoyment together. You also could see that they enjoy similar artistic pursuits, or maybe they like the same music. There's a compatibility as far as like aesthetics, and there can be a lot of, yeah, appreciating each other's beauty. Although the Venus person is usually looking at the Mercury person's mind as their most attractive asset. So it could actually be that the Venus person doesn't necessarily think that they've found like the most physically attractive person, but it's their mind and how they communicate that is the biggest turn on for them about the Mercury person. And yeah, the Mercury person feels like that flow of communication, their throat chakra is so open with Venus. It's like Venus is like the adoring fan of them and their intelligence and their wit. And so it can be very attractive on both ends. It's funny, I had quite a few clients in a row sign up where we had Mercury conjunct Venus in Synastry. I forget which way it was, whether it was my Mercury or their Mercury or whatever, but it might have even been a double whammy. But they really, like, they watched my videos for a long time. They loved the way that I communicate. They loved, the way that I articulate things. And, they really got a lot out of their session with me. And, that's not going to be true for everyone. I have a lot of people who don't like the way that I talk, or who don't like, certain noises that my mouth makes, or just certain, expressions that I do, or the way that I use my hands, or shit like that. And so I feel like that would be more characteristic of like a Mercury Venus square, or even something else entirely, because Mercury Venus is usually a pretty nice energy. But yeah, with Mercury conjunct to Venus, you're not going to see someone taking issue in the way that you express yourself. You're going to see that there's appreciation and enjoyment of, mutual expression. And so yeah, it's like the little things, right? Because Mercury is the planet of like the day-to-day communication. So when we have Mercury conjunct to Venus in Synastry, you're not getting in each other's way about the little things. You're not pissing each other off in, your routines. Like, so if this isn't a romantic relationship, this person doesn't bother you in, their little habits and things that they do. In fact, you actually enjoy the in between spaces. That's what one of my books says. One of my favorite Synastry books, Planets in Synastry, says that, when you have harmonious Venus Mercury aspects, you actually enjoy the in between spaces. So it's not the big things, it's the little things that you actually enjoy. Like you enjoy the day to day, just waking up, doing the routine, having a coffee together, having some breakfast together, going about your day. Like you enjoy the spaces in between the big things with Venus conjunct Mercury, Mercury conjunct Venus in Synastry. So that can be very helpful for making a relationship work long term because it's sort of like, I feel like Mercury conjunct Venus, it's like pouring like a sweet sauce over your relationship. You're able to get along on these very basic things. The Venus person feels like their love language is understood and being spoken by the Mercury person. The Mercury person feels like the Venus person is just this beautiful, like loving appreciation vessel or floodgates of appreciation from this Venus person. So they generally respond really well to that. So there's just a lot of like, oh, you're good. No, you're good. No, I think you're really great. Wow, I think you're really great too. And it's not like the most sexual of aspects, although they can feel attracted for sure because there's so much pleasure in the moment. It's not like a primal, sexuality of like Mars, like tearing each other's clothes off. It's actually more of like a romantic attraction. It's like you found someone who is like worth it for you because Venus is also what you value. And so you can really feel like with this aspect that you found someone that is of value and you want to keep them around because it's enjoyable, pure and simple, right? Like a lot of people get into these harsh relationships that have so many tense aspects. And, if you throw in something like this, well, at least with all of that, you still enjoy each other, and it's simple. It's like, yeah, you feel better together. You feel pleasure together. You feel mutual respect for the way the other person thinks and what the other person values and feels is important is something that's important to you. And, that's a really good basis of relating. It's the little things, right? So another really good aspect of this is that it does increase creativity. It does increase mental clarity too. So for the Mercury person, they get this opportunity to like beautify their thoughts or like refine their mental patterns because of the way the Venus person is, shining their Venus light on the Mercury person's mind and wit and intelligence in the way that they communicate. The Mercury person can become much more effective, graceful, tactful. It's a really beautiful thing. And then the Mercury person, in turn, can really end up inspiring the Venus person to more creativity, more beauty. You can feel really beautiful in this conjunction. Specifically, Venus can feel very activated in their own attractiveness. And that can end up, in turn, this can end up being a very successful combination as far as like helping each other even in business or financially or creatively. It would actually be really good for a working partnership as well, or parent child. You really want to be around someone when you have this contact. You want to enjoy the day-to-day things that this life contains when you have this contact. And yeah, that's a really beautiful thing. So I'd love to know your experience of this aspect. If you've had it, let me know what it was like. And thank you so much for your requests, you guys. Keep them coming, and we'll talk soon. Thanks for watching. Bye.